All right, let's talk a little football. So, fantasy football is right around the corner. I have my first fantasy draft coming up this Sunday. I'm the 10th pick. It kind of sucks. Interesting spot to be at. I like my receiver options. I'm cool with Devontae Adams, Deebo Samuel, Stephon Diggs. If that's what's left for me, that's definitely where I'm going. I definitely think wide receivers are king. And I have proof of it right here, actually. I guess it doesn't necessarily prove my point, but it shows that the amount of good receivers are aplenty, and that if you can stock load up on a lot of wide receivers, I think that's the strategy that we should go into the new fantasy footballs. Times are changing, and the league has changed, and we're Patrick Mahomes, and we're Justin Herbert, and we're Tom Brady, and Aaron Rodgers, and we throw the ball. And the days of LaDainian Tomlinson and Le'Veon Bell and these guys that used to be workhorses that would catch and run the ball, they're kind of gone. They really don't exist anymore. There are running backs that do that, and there are good running backs. I'm not doubting that by any means. And to say that you need a top 10 one, I think is a little silly. I think that you can find good running backs, and I think that you can find serviceable running backs as we will get into our ranking here. So I have the top 50 ranking for the ESPN right here in front of me. So this is when you go on and you go to start a draft. This is what pops up, at least for most of them. It's a PPR setting, so I know that's important to some people. Who's not PPR anymore? Who the fuck is not giving you 1 point for a catch? You'll give a kicker 3 points, 3 fucking points, sometimes bonus fucking points for swinging his hamstring around, but I can't have a fucking catch per point? You want a half a catch per point? What the fuck is going on here? Which is harder, to kick a field goal or to catch a pass in the fucking NFL? I'll wait. But anyways, I digress. The top 10 here are shocking to me. One, because I get it. Number one, just Jonathan Taylor. Yes, I can agree with that. I understand. I think he will be the best running back. Najee Harris might threaten him just because I think he's going to get so many carries. And I think Austin Eckler has a really good season as well. So that being said, the number 2 is Christian McCaffrey. Now, I don't know what everybody's smoking with Christian McCaffrey. What did you see in the last 2 years? Did you see somebody who played a full season and won you a fantasy football league? Or did you see somebody who comes out, gets so much usage, he's guaranteed to get hurt? I'll bet my life that he misses at least one game. At least. The over-under on 10 games, I'm taking the under. The over-under on 7 games, I'll take the fucking under. The guy gets hurt all the time. There's no fucking way he's the second ranked. I have the stats from last year where he's not even on the top 100, you fucking crackheads. There's no fucking way. So the fact that he's number 2 is bonkers. If you take him number 2, you're an idiot. If you take him in the top 10, you're an idiot. He gets hurt all the fucking time. So if you want to go get a guy that's going to be on a Baker Mayfield-led, not that good Carolina Panthers team, go for it. Knock yourself out. The same with DJ Moore, who's number 27. DJ Moore, who is ranked above A.J. Brown, Terry McLaurin, Jalen Waddle, Mike Williams. All these wide receivers are definitely going to have a better season than DJ Brown with fucking Baker Mayfield. There's no way. Baker Mayfield is not even good at focusing on one receiver. We saw that when he couldn't connect with Odell Beckham Jr. or Jarvis Landry. He spreads it out. It's a good trait to have, but it's not going to work on this Carolina Panthers team, and they will struggle. Fuck Christian McCaffrey. You're an idiot if you take Christian McCaffrey. Okay. Then to where I'm at. Now, in my draft, I'm number 2. And as much as I want Jamar Chase, I keep going back and forth. I'm going to be mad no matter what. If I take Jamar Chase, I'm going to be mad when I watch Cooper Kupp going off. And if I take Cooper Kupp, vice versa. So I'm most days I'm Cooper Kupp. I go back and forth. Some days I'm Jamar Chase, but I think I'm going to be Cooper Kupp. And so he definitely should be number 2, if not number 1, in my opinion. I've been saying forever that if I had the number 1 pick, it would be Cooper Kupp. And I kind of, that's one of the reasons, Dan brought that up to me, that it's kind of one of the things that makes me go, okay, I probably should listen to myself and just take Cooper Kupp, be safe, and take Cooper Kupp. 9 loves 10. And it's probably not going away. So Most days I'm Cooper Kupp. Number 4 is Austin Eckler. I like that a lot. Like I said, I think that he's going to have a really good season. I think Najee Harris is going to crack up here in these top. He'll definitely be in the top 3. I think those will be your top 3. No offense to Derrick Henry, who I very much could be disrespecting, and I could be wrong. Derrick Henry could break the mold and could be go against the grain of what I'm talking about. He could be an Adrian Peterson type that just gets better with the age. But he had injuries last year, and I just don't know if he makes it a whole year this year. So I would be hesitant on Derrick Henry. But number 4 is Austin Eckler. Number 5 is Justin Jefferson. He's ahead of number 6, Jamar Chase. Both of those I understand completely. Justin Jefferson is going to have a monster year. They bring in this offensive coordinator from the Rams that is going to implement some Cooper Kupp type stuff for Justin Jefferson. Adam Thielen is aging, and I wouldn't think that he's going to be a huge threat this year. I would think they're going to go Justin Jefferson a lot. Irv Smith Jr., their tight end, is already, I think he's going to be there for week 1, but he hasn't really practiced or done any preseason. So that leads me to believe Justin Jefferson is going to ball. And I totally support that pick. You picked Justin Jefferson, you did the right thing. Jamar Chase, though, God damn. I just know he's going to go off. I know he's going to go off, and I'm going to be sitting there going, I should take him. And I really want him. If he falls to me in my one on Sunday at 10, I will be ecstatic. I will lose my shit if I can get Jamar Chase at 10. That would be so exciting. And it might because people believe in the running back. They believe that you need one of these top running backs. They don't like the drop off in running backs. I understand. I just am going to go a different route this year. And with that, 7, 8, 9, 10 are all running backs, and that is Derrick Henry, Najee Harris, Alvin Kamara, and Dalvin Cook, respectively. Derrick Henry, I've said my piece on. I very much could be wrong. He's a freak of nature. He's an athletic specimen. He very well could have a monster year. He could be number 1. He really could. He has that kind of talent. And when he's on, and he's scoring for you, and he's winning you fantasy football weeks. I totally understand that. But Najee Harris, y'all know what I did last year. Y'all know how much I value this guy. He was probably the one of the only things I had that went well for me. But Najee, again, will be the bell cow for that team. The problem is I just don't think Pittsburgh is going to be very good. I have them being a very bad team. So I have to leave them out of this, or I have to leave Najee out of my I'm not going to pick him at 10 if he's there because I just can't. He's on a bad team, and I'm not picking bad teams this year. Another interesting one, Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara, I think we forget about this a lot, but he had that whole thing over Pro Bowl weekend where he got into a altercation, and he was arrested. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a suspension coming down for Alvin Kamara. It might even drop in the middle of the season. It might be like a 4-game suspension, but it might just be hit you right dead square in the middle of your fantasy football season. So I would have a lot of hesitations about Alvin Kamara. He's another used car. Him and Dalvin Cook are used cars. They've got a lot of mileage on him at this point. If you look at running backs' history, they usually don't last that long. Jonathan Taylor, this is supposed to be a prime year for him. So that's why we've got him so high. But I would be nervous about any of these guys for different reasons. Najee, not because he's not going to give you points. He is going to give you points. But there might be weeks where Pittsburgh just gets stomped out and they're just not there. So I would be nervous about that. But I'm not going to go through the whole top 50. I just wanted to go through that top 10, coming up here in the next couple of picks. Devontae Adams, Deebo Samuel, Stephon Diggs, Joe Mixon, DeAndre Swift, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Leonard Fournette, Mark Andrews, which at first Mark Andrews is kind of high on there, but then Shut up! But then when I look up my top 10 flex positions, leaving the quarterbacks out of it, for last year's fantasy football, and I'm shocked to see what I see, which is Mark Andrews in the top 10. I've got Cooper Kupp, number 1, ahead of Jonathan Taylor, okay? He scored more than your top running back. Cooper Kupp, Jonathan Taylor, Devontae Adams, number 3. Austin Eckler, number 4. Deebo Samuel, number 5. I don't know why Deebo Samuel wouldn't be higher either. If we're being honest, is Deebo not in that Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase realm of where you should be drafting? I think he might be. So Deebo Samuel, Justin Jefferson, number 6. Jamar Chase, Cooper Kupp 1, Jonathan Taylor 2, Devontae Adams 3, Austin Eckler 4, Deebo Samuel 5, Justin Jefferson 6, Jamar Chase 7. Here we go. Mark Andrews 8. Mark Andrews with 8th overall above, and Travis Kelce is right here. He's right behind him coming up, but Mark Andrews being 8 really opens my eyes to how much they use him, how much they're going to use him next year. They don't have Marquise Brown. They just have Rashad Bateman. If I'm in a position where he's there and I'm looking at overall what I want, do I want Cam Akers or Mark Andrews? Do I want Javonte Williams or Mark Andrews? I think I might need to get Aaron Jones or Mark Andrews, James Conner or Mark Andrews. If I'm torn between going running back or the top tight end, because he was the top tight end, that is some shocking shit. Number 9 was Najee Harris. Thank you very much. I was smart about that. And number 10 was Tyreek Hill. Another one that just because Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill were traded from their former teams, they're still going to put up numbers. They're still going to score. We think Devontae Adams isn't going to score. He's going to score. Tyreek Hill's going to score. So I'm high on both those guys. Y'all know I've talked about Miami and Las Vegas being a team that I think is on the rise, including Philadelphia as well. A.J. Brown, I like that pick as well. There's a lot of really good receivers, and I think that's my biggest thing going into this year. There's a lot of really good receivers, and if I can stockpile them, I think I can make do with the running backs that I have. Or let's say I have 4 to 5 really good receivers, and that means there's a disparity somewhere else in the league, somewhere in a 12-team league. Somebody doesn't have a good receiver. Now I can make a trade. Hopefully they've got at least one running back that they're willing to part ways with, and I can trade him one of these receivers for a running back and build my super team that I didn't have to worry about it in the draft. I handled it later with trades. So very interesting. Some sneaky picks in there that we've talked about already. You know, Jalen Waddle that everybody wants. What do you do with Jerry Jeudy and Cortland Sutton? I like that Travis Etienne Jr. I like Miles Sanders. There's some very interesting teams this year, especially with the trades and the moves that people have made. But Christian McCaffrey's not one of them. Where do you take Josh Allen? Do you risk it and you go for that? Dannon did get 8 teams together, so we will be doing a super flex 2 quarterback league with 8 of us. So in that league, my first pick, I hope, is Josh Allen. I hope I'm the number 1 pick, and I hope I can take Josh Allen, but I'll definitely be taking a quarterback in a 2 quarterback league because you don't want to miss out on a top 10 quarterback. Missing out on a top 10 running back, you maybe can make do because every team has a running back, but missing out on a top 10 quarterback in a 2 quarterback league, you're behind the 8 ball pretty much every time. Because if they have a top 10 quarterback, what is their second one bringing to the table? How much are they getting from their quarterback offensive player position? It's mandatory, I think, in a 2 quarterback league, you have to value the quarterback a lot differently. So I will, whenever we do that draft, I will definitely draft quarterback with my first pick. But not in a normal league, a normal 1 quarterback league. I mean, I'm not drafting Josh Allen high, but I am aware of how good he is and what he brings. He won me a league one year, but that was when I drafted him way late, and I saw the diamond in the rough. But which I think Trey Lance is for this year. I think a lot of people feel that way. I think Jalen Hurts. I think you get Jalen Hurts at the right spot. I think he's a big fantasy football player this year. But I've been kind of rambling on, and there we go. Fantasy football. I gave you everything that you were looking for. Headshot, bang, done.